Good day and welcome to our video on baselining your projects within PPO. I'm going to be assuming the role of Ravi Naidu today on our compliance front-end project. And to get started right off the bat, we need to focus on a very important field called the baseline date on our project entity. Secondly, we need to focus on our schedule and our 4 columns in total. We've got planned start dates, so there's the start date and the end date, and our baseline dates, there's the start date and there's the end date. Now this schedule was finalized on the 2nd of April, and on the 3rd of April, Ravi had a meeting with his stakeholders and baselined the schedule. There was an agreement made, there was a flag put in the ground to say we are happy with the dates that have been committed, and the date on which we're baselining the schedule is, for example, Sunday the 3rd of April. Now when I hit submit, what PPO is going to do is it's going to go and pull out the planned end date and the planned start date as of the 3rd of April. So if your schedule didn't exist before the 3rd of April, PPO is just going to replicate what the planned start and end date are currently. If your schedule did exist on the 3rd of April or prior, then PPO has the ability to go and pull the dates at that particular date and reflect that as the baseline start date. So what do I mean by that? Currently, we have our baseline schedule in place. Tracy, if we just go to a Gantt chart, Tracy is busy documenting the user requirements for our second iteration. And what follows after that, if we just zoom out a little bit, is we need to design the solution based on those based on those requirements that Tracy is busy documenting for us. But Tracy has hit a bit of a roadblock with her requirements. Some of the users are going on leave because it's approaching the Easter weekend. So she is going to change the planned end date of the task, still keeping the same start date. She's going to change the planned end date to the 20th. Now, the task was originally planned to end on the 12th. Okay, this task existed within PPO on the 3rd of April, which means the calculations can pull the original planned start date from the task as at the 3rd of April and populate that in your baseline end date. So now what you land up with is you have Tracy's revised 20th of April date, and we have Ravi's baseline date that is set up for the schedule, being the 12th of April. Now this starts to track the slippage of the particular task. We are only focusing on one at the moment, but that particular task has now slipped. It's up to Ravi to handle the implication of that slip. So Ravi as the project manager now needs to, through perhaps a tool like MSP or through an Excel import, or even manually if Ravi so desired, he needs to understand the impact that that single task being moved on by 8 days has on the remainder of his schedule and the completion date of the project. Will he be able to bring it back in time so that we can still complete the project within August on the 13th? Or does he need to make some adjustments and manage the expectations of his stakeholders? Because yes, there is the Easter weekend and people have taken leave, so Tracy is battling to finalize or can already see that she is not going to make that planned end date. So here you'll see the document system requirements and test criteria task has been slipped from the original planned end date by 8 days. Just to recap, remember PPO needs to have your schedule in PPO before you baseline your schedule. So import your schedule, then baseline your schedule, and then manage the changes in the dates from there on out. Thank you for your time.